Hey YouTube, this is Woodworker Anonymous, and I'm showing you a SketchUp design I've been working on for a king-size bed, which I'm going to attempt to build over the next several months, hopefully not several. And it's just an out-of-my-head kind of design. I'm going to try to make it in a Art Deco type style. This isn't my typical kind of build. I don't really do furniture, but I wanted to document this. It's going to be a long drawn out process. I'll probably break up into several videos. This design is not completely finished, and it's kind of the way I do things. I start designing, start building. It's probably not the best way to do things, but it is the way I do things. It leads to mistakes and screw-ups because I get ahead of myself on the milling and cutting, and then I change an idea. But my best ideas come to me when I'm working on the project, and I want you to see what this project is supposed to look like in the beginning, because as I'm working through this in my shop, you're really not going to know what I'm doing. But this is basically it. It's a king-size bed. It's going to have a shelving, kind of like a shelf up here at the headboard, a little drawer here, and a decorative top. Probably incorporate some kind of lighting in it as well. So this is the basic idea. It's going to change. Like I said, it's changed many times already. So anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of the wood I bought. Got a great deal on Craigslist. How I'm going to start milling it up. A couple tips on that, and then we'll call this video done. I don't want to make these videos too long and boring, so let's break it up and see how it goes from there. I don't have a lot of people probably going to watch this, but I do want to document it, if not for nothing else, for my own sake. So this is where we're starting as far as design wise, and let me get to the shop, showing you a little bit of the milling process, and we'll wrap it up there. So anyway, thanks for watching. So it was awesome getting all this mahogany really cheap like that from this guy's house. I paid $250 for, I don't know how many. I figured this out at one point. I figured out if you price this out online for 2x6 mahogany, it was about $2,500, approaching $3,000 for this mahogany. I got it for $250. It's not perfect. This had been mounted as, I guess, ceiling beams or something, so there were some screw holes in a couple of pieces, but for the most part, some of these pieces were 21 feet long. I mean, I had to cut them down to 7-footers, 8-footers to get them in my truck, to get them home. One of the problems about buying lumber like this and then using it for your project is you're not really, you can't make a cut list and then go to the store and buy exactly what you need. You come home instead with a big pile of wood, and then you have to then figure out, how does this work into my design? And that's what I'm working through right now. Bottom line is, get your design finalized, find out the longest pieces you need, and start there. Then start finding them in the wood you have. Make sure you can mill them out to the specs that you need, and work your way to the smaller pieces. Don't do it the other way around, obviously, because you'll end up ruining the whole stockpile of wood. So anyways, just some thoughts right there. That's mostly going to be for the panels, for the footboard and headboard. We've got a bunch of pieces over here that are going to be for posts, and that's going to be posts for the headboard and shelf on top of that. Anyway, much to my surprise, I'm using almost all this mahogany. This bed's probably going to weigh over 1,000 pounds, but it's all going to be 100% solid mahogany walnut. So I've been using this jig I made extensively for the mortise and tenons, and they're helping put the headboard posts together. So we'll have basically what we got here is 3 pieces of these 3x3 inch posts are actually glued up from 2x6s. Got a filler piece in the miller, all a filler piece, but it's still solid mahogany. Then I just put a 3/8 inch veneer of walnut across the middle. This bed's kind of going to be pieced together with accent pieces of walnut and cherry. At least 1,000 pounds of mahogany in this thing, so it's going to come apart into 6 or 7 pieces, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's going to be heavy though, but it's okay. It's going to last a lifetime, so see what happens. I got all this 2x6 stock that you know, I'm using to glue up to make some 3x3 posts, and I gotta rip this down. This is actually 1 3/4 thick, I was telling you, so it's nice because I'll be able to get, if I rip this thing, I should be able to get 2 3/4 inch pieces, and I need some 3/4 inch stock to do some panels. Well, I'm going to do some raised panels, so the rails and stiles I'm going to use out of 3/4. I got this grizzly bandsaw recently, and you know, it came with this stock blade that is just, it was awful. I was practicing on a piece of scrap, and it was just binding up. It wasn't cutting. You know, checked the tension and all the settings, and it just wasn't getting it. So I had just recently bought this like resaw blade from, I think it's, I have to remember, I have to get a check on that, but it came, I say, well, I better put this on. It's a 1/2 inch blade. It's a 3 tooth per inch, I think. And what a difference. It's a totally different machine here. I was barely getting through here with that stock blade. It was just barely moving with a lot of pressure. With this one, it's going through like a knife through the hot butter. And this is mahogany. It's a little over 5.5 inches tall, and I don't know if you can see the quality of this, like the surface here, but I mean, it almost looks, I mean, you almost can't see the blade. The tooth mark on this thing is. It's going to be one pass through the planer, and we're good to go. So, really impressed with this. I think I got it from, I'll check. I think I got this blade from, it wasn't Woodpeckers. Let me double check on that. I'll get back to you on that. But this makes this whole process so easy and so nice. I had to just do a little spit on that. So anyway, I gotta get back to ripping some boards. Okay, so that just about wraps up what I want to cover in this video. Just a little introduction to what this is going to look like, what I want it to look like, and some basic milling operations that I've started. Just to let you know, I have actually progressed further along in the build than I've shown you in this video. You know, we're going to go into like some of the design elements that have been changing, because I've changed several of those already. There's been some minor screw-ups, and there's been some major screw-ups, and basically show you how we all figure out how to work our way through those disasters. Hopefully we can come up with solutions that actually make it better. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stick around. This should be a fun build.